Good morning and welcome to Zone 623. My name is Dylan McElroy and with me I have...
What's up? My name's Ezra Robichaux.
What's up, Ezra?
It's
been a minute, huh?
It has. We're back. Season 2. Big things incoming. Got a lot of interesting stuff to cover today.
Right.
Definitely a lot.
Unfortunately, Dylan was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it. Dylan Hendricks. He couldn't make it. So we actually have some audio snippets of the topics that we talked about. So to start things off, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Calabasas tragedy that claimed the lives of 9 others, including Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant. Kobe Bryant and 8 others, including his daughter, were leaving from John Wayne Airport in Orange County on their way to Camarillo Airport. The chopper burst into flames and crashed due to unknown reasons in Calabasas. The victims of the crash include Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, John Kerry and Alyssa Alsobiri, Christina Malser, Sarah and Peyton Chester, and Ara Zabayan. Alyssa and Peyton were among teammates of Gianna. Christina was the girls' coach. We would like to take this time to take 24 seconds of silence in their memory. All right. So, you have anything to say about this, Ezra?
I mean, honestly, at first I didn't think it was real because, of course, TMZ got to it before anyone, and when TMZ releases something, you don't really know if to trust it or not because of TMZ's reputation. But as soon as I saw other news outlets picking up, I was like, I just couldn't speak. I was like...
And that's the journalist. And on Zone 623's page, you may have seen that... Yeah. I waited a good hour. I was waiting until somebody that I knew. I didn't trust TMZ. We're taught as journalists not to trust certain people.
I posted about it when I heard it from Woj.
Whenever Woj and
tweeted
Fox
about
were
it,
both, I was like,
whenever Woj tweeted, I was like,
at
that's
least
it.
a report. Mm-hmm. So, very tragic. Kobe's very influential on everybody.
Icon in the NBA. You know, he was just getting
more than the NBA though.
Yeah, he had a lot planned for, even though after he retired, because he hasn't even been retired for that. It's been how long he's been retired for? About 3 to 5 years now. So
I think he retired at the end of 2016. So it's been a couple of years.
It's only been a couple of years.
In that time, he's won a Grammy for an Oscar. I'm sorry, an Oscar for his Dear Basketball short film. So, very tragic. And also for those other victims, losing his daughter, that's horrible. And also those other 2 young girls and among the other people. Actually, John Alsobini was actually Orange County's baseball coach, and I believe he's coached somebody that's actually made it to the big leagues. Yeah,
he's one of the historic high school coaches. Like, he was... For the team he coaches, he was very well known and very liked. So,
yes, but we have actually an audio snippet from our other host, Dylan Hendricks, that we're going to go ahead and play right now.
This affected me tremendously due to Kobe Bryant being one of the people that got me into basketball. He was definitely the biggest impact on me in basketball. He's a person that just basically driven into my head. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you shoot, just keep shooting. Just watching him play, it was just like poetry in motion. Like, it was just so beautiful to watch his game as he was just able just to knock down shot after shot and just continue to keep shooting like that. And he just performed at a high level. And not only that, the Mamba mentality that he taught us to just keep playing through everything, just to keep training. Whenever no one else is training, that's whenever you really need to train and stuff like that. But me growing up, just watching him play really made me want to play, and also just wanting to be like him. I remember going in the driveway wearing a Kobe Bryant Lakers shirt and just shooting baskets and just yelling Kobe. Like, it's just crazy. But it was very sad, and I believe that the world is definitely going to be missing out on what could have been a post-basketball career where he just did a lot of great things. But thank you, Kobe.
Yeah. And, Dylan hit it right on the nose, like the memories of Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
I know myself. I was born in 1995. Kobe was drafted, I think, in 96. Mm-hmm. So until he retired, I didn't know an NBA without Kobe Bryant. And I started getting into basketball whenever I was 7 years old, and that's like whenever the Lakers were winning championships and everything like that. And Shaq and Kobe were like the big thing. Like, I wanted to dunk like Shaq, but that footwork and just the amazing things that Kobe was able to do. And I don't think I'd be doing a basketball talk show or be in love with the sport without that initial spark. And I think I got that from Kobe Bryant.
Honestly, I think I kind of say me too. And also a lot of people probably got that spark from Kobe.
And then, Dylan saying how, he used to put on his jersey and, he's shooting shots and Kobe, it's...
Man, anytime you shot something, even into like a paper ball into a trash can, what was it? It was, you're just saying Kobe every time you went.
I remember there was this little joke going around, and it was like, hey, you think LeBron says Kobe whenever he shoots? Like, that's what he was. He's just an icon. And I think that's what plays into how it's such a tragedy, is because, like, he just seems so invincible, And then just seeing how happy he was after basketball. Like, he was truly girl dad, #girl dad, and the storyteller and helping people and everything like that. That was the real Kobe. I mean, all that was Kobe, but this was probably the happiest you've probably seen Kobe these last couple of years. So it's almost like his life was just beginning, So other memories that we have, of course, the 60-point farewell game. Coming back after he tore his ACL to knock down some free throws.
We can talk about the 81.
81 points.
81.
How many olives you want, Kobe? 81.
The 81-point game. For you being a Lakers fan, that must have been like huge to see that. For you being a Lakers fan, you must have loved seeing that.
How far behind they were to still come back. It's just crazy.
And Kobe dropped 80 and 81.
I find,
impressive.
You just said that I'm a Lakers fan, but also, like, I find that it's more Wilt's era, the 100-point game, he was playing a bunch of people that probably aren't as good as Wilt, But Kobe was playing with his peers. They had a lot more restrictions and everything like that. So to me, that 81 points holds a lot more value than that 100 points.
Because when Wilt played...
like 81's a lot more... the 100 points, like, almost definitely not touchable. But the 81 also has that value, too.
But back when Will played, 100 points was like... The rules were different, though. You could really do...
You didn't have a shot clock.
No, you could take forever to shoot.
Stuff like that. Other things go into it. And talking about that, whenever he tore his Achilles and still made those free throws, that's the year where they got Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, and the year was just derailed by injuries and... chemistry issues, but throughout all that, Kobe's like, I'm getting y'all to the playoffs no matter what, and he did. And it cost him his Achilles. And you can also make the argument that coming back from that Achilles, he was never Kobe Bryant in the sense of bathing anymore.
I think that team, when they had like Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, if they don't get injured, I think they're a solid title contender. Because Steve Nash, he may have been old, but he could still. He was still doing what he was doing like he was young. He still had that same, like... He still had them flashy passes and can still make plays when he needed to.
Right.
Even at, like, in his mid-30s, he was still making amazing plays as it is.
All right. So, not to want to change the subject on Kobe Bryant, but let's move away from it. The All-Star game will be tributing Kobe.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about that. So, the All-Star game, it's something that's always been... recently it's been subject to change. We went from no conferences, you get to choose your teammates, fans voted in all-stars, players and coaches voted in reserves, and then it's almost like team captains are the highest vote getters, But now they got new changes to the All-Star game. So the first 3 quarters will be treated almost like mini games. There'll be 12-minute quarters, and whoever wins at the end of that quarter, they get $100,000 to the charities that are available. I'm not really sure the quite specifics of it yet. But then at the end of the game, each quarter, the first 3 starts with 0 points. In the fourth quarter, they tally all those points together. And then it's whoever gets 24 first no time. So basically what they're saying is if the score is 100 to 95 at the end of the first 3 quarters, whoever gets 124 then wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the winner of everything gets $200,000 to
a charity.
So if your team wins all events, you're getting $500,000 to whatever charities they have.
That is That is a lot.
Well, what do you think about the new AllStar format?
I mean, yeah, it's certainly it's different. I mean, because for years, the AllStar game has been like conferences, best of the East, best of the West. There was really no voting involved. Like, you just took the top players from the East and West, put them in a 5-on-5, and just played a normal game. But now, recently, like you said, like it has changed with the new format, and now top vote getters actually getting to pick their teams.
Do you think it brings the excitement back?
A little bit, yes. Like them testing out new All-Star game ideas is pretty cool. I mean, I think people are gonna watch it this year just to see how it goes. I think it'll do great.
I think I like this idea a lot more than the mid-season playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am interested to see like a 3-on-3 tournament of the best, like maybe
the best 3 players from
the top 8 seeds 3-on-3 tournaments, to 21. No, I think that'd be very interesting.
Their best 3 players, huh?
The best 3 players from each top seed, each of the top 3 seeds. But yeah, whenever this story first broke, I was a little confused on what they were trying to do. It's like, wait, mini games and all this.
I read it.
Wait, what?
I read it and I was like, well.
And then they're like, oh, we're gonna add all the scores up at the end. I'm like, what does that even mean? But now actually, like getting a in-depth report about it, it's like, yeah, like it's not as bad as I thought. It's essentially still just an all-star game. And now there's more chances for, charities and everything like that. So I like that aspect of it. Staying with the All-Stars, let's go ahead and name off the starters for the East and the West.
All right.
And we talk about, and also let's do the reserves. Do you think we should do all East and then all West?
Yeah, we can do that.
I want West. Dibs. I'm calling dibs.
Okay, I'll take East.
So go ahead and just name off the starters and then just start with whatever.
Okay, so the starters for the East, of course, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, the captain. Got Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, Kemba Walker, and Trae Young. Among the reserves, you got Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton, Domantas Sabonis, Jason Tatum, and one of probably the best young players right now, Bam Adebayo, who has been playing out of his mind.
Right. And so going with the West, we have James Harden, Luka Doncic, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. And then for the reserves from the West, we got Rudy Gobert, Brandon Ingram, Nikola Jokic, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook. Do you think that they got this right, or do you think somebody got snubbed?
Honestly, I think
the rumors might suggest, somebody might have got snubbed.
Somebody got snubbed. I think in the East, you could honestly, I think in the East, Bradley Beal deserved it.
I agree.
Like when you're looking at stats, 28 points per game, but he's also the backbone of the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically carrying the Wizards team, and I think you could put him in over Kyle Lowry.
That's exactly who I would say.
I think you can put in Kyle. I think you take out Kyle Lowry and put in Bradley Beal.
So, whenever you're looking at their stats, there's 2 major differences, and that's with Bradley Beal scoring 28 points per game and Kyle Lowry only having 19.
Exactly.
Now you look at theirs because they're guards. I'm going to judge them based off their assists, even though it's not fair because Beal's more of a shooting guard. But their assists, they both are averaging 6 assists. And then from the 3, Beal's having 35%, whereas Lowry only has 34%. But that's only a 1% difference. That's not the biggest things. So points is the big thing, and that's where you're like, why didn't Beal get this? But also you look at Kyle Lowry's on the Raptors. The Raptors are second in the East right now, whereas Bradley Beal is sitting on the Wizards, and I think they're the 11th seed.
Yeah,
Beal's carrying them, and you got to make the argument that Lowry has Pascal Siakam, who is a starter for the All-Stars. If Beal had that, what would that be? But you can't give that. So I do think he deserves it more, but I think record comes into play with this, which is I'm kind of glad to say because A lot of times it's usually popularity, and I'm glad to see that it's stats. It's a record. So for the West, I have a snub, and that's Devin Booker. Definitely should have been over CP3.
I agree with that.
And
CP3 hasn't been doing half the amount that Devin Booker's doing what he's always doing, and that's averaging high points per game.
So per age, I think CP3 is actually doing really well. He's got 17 points. He has 5 rebounds. CP3 ain't no big guy. And then 7 assists and 35% from the 3.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. You know, in any other kind of standing it would be. It's such a guard-heavy league. But Booker has 27-6, and he's shooting 51% from field goal. I mean, that's not counting his 3, but 51%. And if you look at the shots that Booker takes, it's not usually at the rim. No. He's usually doing some kind of shot creating. Mm-hmm. So I just think that, I mean, this is another one where the record comes into play, definitely, but I don't know. I definitely do think.
I really think
there's a case for Lowry, but for this one, I don't know. I think that it's a blatantly snub. I'm not into the reports about Ja Morant getting snubbed and DeMar DeRozan getting snubbed.
Ja Morant's already probably going to win Rookie of the Year. Yeah. I think this year Ja Morant, unless one of the other, but you can put some other rookies up there with him. Like most of the Heat, most of their rookies have been playing outstanding.
Yeah, they got 2 rookies that are shocking the world. Tyler
Herro, Kendrick Nunn. Mm-hmm. I don't think Bam's.
No, Bam's not a rookie. He's been in it for a while.
Yeah,
but and I do have issues kind of with not so much the Western All-Stars starting list because that's been the same kind of group of guys for a while.
Besides
Luka. But Luka deserves it.
Luka's been playing absolutely.
Now, Trae Young, he is phenomenal. I don't want to put no disrespect on Trae Young's name, but I feel like maybe somebody else could have been starting point guard.
It's a Trae Young. Who are you going with? I'm saying
out of this list,
I'm saying Jimmy Butler.
I say you move Kemba up and put Butler at the 2.
You think?
Yeah, because Kemba
can play point guard, but put Butler in there because
and if you put Butler up there, I'm gonna tell you what. Even though it's the All-Star game and we don't talk about defense, Trae Young's a defensive liability, where Jimmy Butler's anything but.
Jimmy, that's what
Jimmy put the clamps on you.
I had wrote down that Trae Young. Like, when you compare Trae Young and Jimmy Butler, Butler's an amazing two-way guard.
Well, I mean, you got to also put in height, but Trae Young does the things that are flashy. So for All-Star game, it works. Now, if you're building a team, maybe you.
I put Jimmy over Trae. If I was building a team, I'd.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. So the WNBA recently had an increase in their salary cap, and they also got a lot more benefits.
Oh yeah.
And in those benefits, it includes paid maternity leave and other things like that. Do you have any opinions on this new salary with the WNBA?
I think it's definitely getting somewhere. I mean, I have numbers here. The WNBA salary was raised from $117,500 to $215,000, which is an 83% increase.
Wow.
83% increase in salary.
It's insane.
It is, and honestly, I think they're finally getting what they deserve. I think it's time we start looking at the WNBA as an actual league. They're not as big as the NBA, but they're established.
Yeah,
they're established at this point.
And this is a big step for them. I've been preaching the last year since I've really started following it because I was curious. I felt like it was wrong that they don't get this much limelight, and stuff like their finals is a midday. It's on TV. I'll watch it. It's ridiculous. Nothing else is on TV in July. What, preseason maybe? I don't know.
Oh, the NBA
Summer League? I don't even know. What's going on?
Summer League.
Definitely think that's ridiculous, but I'm so glad that they're getting paid. And the biggest thing is that paid maternity leave.
Oh, that's big.
Something that America, the whole country doesn't get.
Okay.
It's almost like in America, as soon as you have the baby, it's all right, we got to go back to work now. It's no, and then if you do have to leave, you're not getting paid. So paid maternity leave, that's big.
That is huge.
I don't know if you followed it, but a lot of these women that are pro-level players, they haven't been playing in the WNBA these last couple of years due to salary, due to the maternity leave, Mm-hmm. So it's good to see. And it's kind of sad that I feel like this is almost like a please don't leave kind of thing. Whereas I feel like this is something they've deserved for years.
It is.
And it's taken them to leave to, okay, we'll do it. Because also, if you look back, WNBA's almost been like a part-time job. And that's almost what the NBA was in, like, way back when, where people were, oh, I work all year, but now I got to play basketball. You know, like they were electricians, plumbers, working men. Because if the season wasn't on, they couldn't afford to live where they live. So, glad to see a six-figure salary.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the child care benefits and everything like that.
WNBA is definitely going in the right direction with this. It's a big step, and I think it only goes up from here. Definitely. I think it's only up from here for the WNBA.
Right. But, well, that's all the time we have today. So, thank you for coming back. This is on 623. We're going to go ahead and tell you to like, comment, share, hit the notification bell. Keep updated with us. We're going to put our social media handles down at the bottom. Ezra's finally on Twitter.
Yeah,
so now y'all get to go into the mind of Ezra whenever he's not here.
Whenever I'm not here, exactly,
So,
yes.
Yeah. See you next week.